hickory-dickory-dock. Time to beat the clock. Time for fun has now begun. Let's all play beat the clock.
Beat the Clock is brought to you by Sylvania. For half a century, a quality name in incandescent bulbs, fluorescent tubes and fixtures, photo lamps, radio and television sets, radio and television tubes, and electronic devices. Yes, for homes, offices, schools, and factories, Sylvania.
Let's all play beat the clock.
Now here is America's #1 clock watcher, Bud Collyer.
Thank you. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome once again to Beat the Clock, the show where you're going to have the time of your life playing against time for big-time prizes. Let's go over here and re-meet a very charming couple we had on last week who were about to play a little football with us when time ran out. Mr. and Mrs. James Reardon of Woodside, New York. Let's have a welcome for them. Mr. Reardon, how are you? Jim, nice to have you back, fella. See now, you work on railroad, is that it?
Yes, I previously was on the railroad. But,
previously? What are you doing? Changing jobs or something?
I'm going to Florida next Monday. This Monday coming, I should say.
Well, good boy. What's a new job?
Yes, sir. I'm looking for a business down there, and if everything turns out right, we'll stay there permanently.
Are you going to go out right down with him, or
No, I'm going to fly down a couple of weeks from now.
Right.
Yes, with the children.
With the children. You have 2 girls, don't you?
Yes. May I say hello to
Well,
one
of
of them?
course you may. Go ahead.
Hello,
I'd rather
Nancy.
not camera there. That's it.
Hi, Nancy.
And who's the other one?
Joanne, but she's asleep.
How do you know she's asleep? Better say hello, just in case.
Hi, Joanne.
That's better. No favorites.
everyone.
Incidentally, as you know, the bonus is worth $1,400 tonight. Whenever that bell rings, whenever lady is up at that time, gets to try balancing those cups on the pancake turners. And, of course, I have for each of you one of these football guides and a pattern book for you of those aprons, those Roxanne aprons. Sylvania TV has all the football scores and the teams and the players and the rules and regulations. It's very nice to have around the house. All right, Mr. and Miss Reardon, you remember you were on the $200 clock, and it involved a little special kind of football. So if you both come over here with me, I'll remind you and everybody else watching just what kind of football it was. Now, Jim, suppose you step over here and get this football helmet on again. We have specially constructed it. It has a net in it, as you see, and you're going to be the quarterback, and your wife is going to be the center. She has a supply of very small footballs in this box here, and she's going to center them to you in such a way, we hope, that 2 of them will land back in there. You see? You can't help in any way with your hands. You just got to stand there. You can move your head around any way you want to help, but just catch 2 footballs, bend down, move around, help in any way he wants to. There's one for you. Take a look at the clock. See how many seconds you have on the $200 clock. 55 seconds. Are you ready? Go. There's one. That's it. Off with the shoes. Take it easy. Take it easy. You got it. A little bit higher. Almost. Hold it. Stop the clock. Got to pick up the footballs that were lost. Here, come on, girls. Get the footballs back in the box there. That's the idea. We stopped the clock, boys. Don't worry. Get them all back in there. Are you ready? Go. There we are. Congratulations. What's this shaking hands with your own wife here? Give her a kiss is what she deserves, especially since she's going to move on to the jackpot clock in just a minute. Boy, you got a little nervous there, didn't you, huh?
A little bit when
Did
I
you practice
started
that?
to miss.
Did you practice
Once,
it?
but I couldn't walk for 4 days afterwards.
You couldn't?
No, from bending over, I stretched my leg.
Maybe
muscle.
that's what you need, you know? Sure, it's good for you. Why, she's out of shape, uh-huh. There's a family. He says she's out of shape. She says, with 2 children, I'm out of shape. Now, Mrs. Reardon, you carry on for the family. And, Jim, we're going to have to ask you to step back over there. You can't help in any way except by holding good thoughts for your lovely wife. Miss Reardon, if you'll step up on this little platform, turn around and face the audience, and don't turn back again until I tell you to. And back of you now is our jackpot board with all of the words of a famous saying or quotation. But they're all mixed up and out of order. Now, you have exactly 20 seconds from the time I say go to rearrange those words so they spell out the saying or quotation we're after. Do you understand? Don't look till I tell you to. Now, open the curtain. Turn around and take a look. Go. All right, stop the clock. The pen is mightier than the sword. You're right, and you've beaten our jackpot clock. have beaten our jackpot clock, so let's see what you've won. Just take a look over here.
It's the 1954 Sylvania Stratford with a 21-inch screen and the great new Photo Power chassis for photographically clear pictures in even the most distant reception areas. And, of course, the Stratford has halo light for the greatest eye comfort in all television. Congratulations, Mr. and Mrs. Reardon. You have just won Sylvania's jackpot prize.
All right, Roxanne. Whom do we have now? I say, you got yourself a brood, haven't you, huh?
I just found out who they are. I think this is Pat and Mick, right? And Mr. and Mrs. Donald Amundsen from Parsippany, New Jersey.
Well, how nice to have you all here. Hello, and let's welcome them from out there, shall we? Tom, how are you? Fine, Mrs. Amundsen, is that pronounced correctly?
Amundsen.
Amundsen. And which is which over here now? Come on out here, girls. Stand alongside each other so I can see who's who here. Now, what's your name?
Mary Catherine.
You're Mary Catherine, is that right?
Yes.
How old are you, Mary?
9.
9 years old. And what's your name?
Patricia Ann.
I got a Patricia myself, of my very own. Then I have a Cynthia, who is Cynthia Ann. See, we stuck the Ann in a different place there. How old are you, dear?
11.
You're 11. You the oldest, are you?
Yes.
Do you have any brothers or sisters at home?
Yes, we have 3 brothers and 3 more sisters.
And 3 more. The last time you looked, that was. Is that it? That's a big family. 3 brothers and 3 more sisters? Does that make 5 girls and 3 boys?
That's right.
Boy, you're going to walk home with some loot. Roxanne, bring out a couple of those things, will you? First of all, for all of the girls in the family, one of these Roxanne dolls. One for each of them, see? And for the boys in the family, you can take that for now, and then we collect the others backstage. And for the boys in the family, one of these Argus 75 flash gun cameras with the, Sylvania Blue Dot for Sure Shot flash bulbs in there. You want to hold that one, too? Those are for the boys, the dolls are for the girls, and you stand back there now and keep your fingers crossed for Mom and Dad, so we'll find out just exactly what they're going to have to do. You're personnel manager of what, sir?
Arsenal Laboratories.
Oh, you are?
That's right.
How'd you like to have a little record of this occasion? Roxanne, come on out with your camera. Step out here again, girls, will you? Stand in fairly close there. Roxanne, see how many of you can get in. We'll take a picture with one of Sylvania's flash bulbs, and now we'll see if we can have that for you before the show is over, okay? All right, now, Mr. and Mrs. Amundsen, let's find out what your problem is. It's a noisy one, but it should be kind of fun. Will you both come over here with me, please, on the $100 clock? Now, if you will stop off here, Mrs. Amundsen, by that pile of dishes, and you, sir, on the way over to where you're going, I want to pause long enough to show you we have a bass drum here, you see? And then over here, you're supposed to stand always behind this black line. You can move up and down, but you have to stay behind it at all time. And here is a cymbal, which we want you to hold in one hand. Are you left-handed or right-handed?
Right-handed.
With your right hand, by that knob. Any way you want, you can hold it like that or like that, whatever's comfortable, but only with one hand. Right. You understand, sir? Right. Now, in the meantime, your wife, over here by these dishes, is going to take them one at a time, bounce them on the drum, and you have to catch them on the cymbal. Do you understand? That's all you have to do. And when you have caught and are holding 3 dishes on that cymbal, we'll stop the clock and you'll beat the clock. But you must have 3 dishes on the cymbal. Do you understand what you have to do? All right, take a look at the clock now. See how many seconds you have. 45 seconds. Okay, are you ready? Go. Stop the clock a minute. I think you'll do better, really, if you do like I did. Kind of scale them over. See? Let them bounce on and off. Okay? Try again. Are you ready? Go. Make it really bounce right on the drum. All right, here it comes. Come on now. All right, hold it. Stop the clock. I think, really, if you toss them just a little higher so they bounce higher. See? See? I'll let you keep that one now. Go from there. You ready? Go. Wait a minute. Hold it. Let me get it off for you. Go. Up. Right on the drum. No, hold it. Hold it. I'll give you one more little bit of show. But don't be so nervous now. It's all right. It's all right. You're doing fine. But the thing is, see, kind of scale it just a little bit. See? Kind of like that. See? Okay? Are you ready? Go. Take it easy now. Take it easy. You're all right. Come on, you're doing all right. Oh, dear, I'm sorry you didn't beat the clock. The clock beat you. You know, all through that whole thing, you were looking at him like you're wondering what he's going to say to you when he gets you home. Well, he's not going to say anything. We have a little something extra extra for you. Here is a table model Sylvania radio for you to take along with you. And here is your picture of the two little girls. See that we got for you to take home as a little souvenir of the show. And all those wonderful things you're going to take home for the kids, too. Thanks so very much for being with us tonight. Good night. Roxanne, whom do we have now?
Right now, I'd like you to meet Mr. and Mrs. John Havco from Red Hook, New York.
Well, thank you very much. Like very much to meet them. Hello, Miss Havco. How are you? Mr. Havco, nice to have you with us tonight, sir. You are a science teacher?
That's right.
And you are a social science teacher. You have a longer title than he has.
Yes.
Where do you teach?
I teach in Stassburg, New York.
And you, sir?
Red Hook, New York.
Red Hook, New York. Are they fairly close?
About 15 miles different.
Oh, that isn't too bad. And you were married a year and 5 months, is that
That's right.
right?
Mm-hmm.
My goodness. Are you going to keep on teaching right along?
Well, not very long, I hope.
Going to settle down and raise a family, maybe?
I hope so.
Good. That's a wonderful family that last family had, wasn't it?
Certainly was.
Boy, I should say so. 5 girls and 3 boys. Incidentally, I'd like to pause just long enough here to remind all of you, if you haven't already been reminded, that the drive for funds to support research to wipe out muscular dystrophy is currently in progress. And the letter carriers all over the United States have made a wonderful contribution of their own. They have elected for the first time to take part in something like this, to collect from the various persons from whom they collect or to whom they deliver mail any contributions that they wish to give. Now, you can give it to your letter carrier, or, of course, you can write to muscular dystrophy and put it in the post office. They'll be sure that they get it, too. But don't forget to give. That's the main thing, to help wipe out this disease. The research cannot go on without money. No, it's kind of hard when you're badgered by so many drives, but kind of remember this one, too, will you? All right, Mr. and Mrs. Havco of Red Hook, New York. The bonus. A count of 3 and the bonus. All right, you fellows are trying for the bonus tonight. Oh, thank you very much. What an entrance. Thanks, Madeline. Incidentally, it is worth tonight $1,400. Now, there is one little pancake turner in that hand. Have you watched this done? Well, you know exactly what we have to ask you to do then. You must wind up with this on that pancake turner, this on that one, both of them standing there steadily. They must both be there. Do you understand? Well, they have to stay there long enough to know that we know they're there. They can't just sort of rock on and fall off. You understand? But you must do it without either one helping the other. Each one must do it independently of the other.
Steady this with this thing?
You can steady it, but you can steady that one with this one, but you can't help one with the other. Each one has to be in there. Take a look at the clock. See how many seconds you have for $1,400, 50 seconds. Are you right-handed?
Yes.
I'll give you one piece of advice. You'll save time, I think, getting the first one, right hand out of the way. But you do it any way you want to. Are you ready? Go. Not against your body. Oh, dear, I am sorry. That's why I tried to advise you the right hand might have been a little quicker to get that out of the way. You might have calmed down. But a good try. That's a tough one, we know. But a lot of people are practicing at home now. Here we go. Here we go real quick and all of a sudden. And, of course, that's purely a plus, you understand. I mean, that doesn't injure the fact you're right into your clocks, 1, 200, and so forth, and maybe the jackpot clock, which we sincerely hope as well. And we'll find out, of course, what any problems are involved in that in just a few moments. You have a home in Red Hook, New York, do you?
Mm-hmm.
Is it right in Red Hook, or?
It's about 3 miles north of Red Hook.
3 miles north. You watch our show there, do you?
Every night.
Every night. We're not on every night, but every set. I don't know how we dig up enough stunts. Right now, we're going to stop the clock. Well, I assume we have Mr. and Mrs. Havco all set now so that even their neighbors in Red Hook won't know them. Now, listen about, did you ever play quoits, pitching quoits?
Oh, yes.
Sort
Are you
of.
pretty good at making a ringer every now and then?
Now and then.
Well, come on, let's see if you can make one in our quoits field over here. Would you bring out our little quoit set? There she comes. Betty looking up a little apprehensively there, weren't you? All right. So you, sir, would you step up here and have a seat in that chair? Meantime, if Mrs. Havco will step up alongside of me, I'll show you what your problem is going to be. Here is what we're going to use as a quoit. Just a little piece of rope that we bound in black tape so you can see it very easily. And we have here the little stake that we're going to put on your husband's head. like a unicorn, you see? And all you have to do is make a ringer with one of these over that stake, like that. Just make one ringer, we'll stop the clock, and you'll beat the clock. Now, you don't do it with this one. But you'll notice that there's a whole row of pies up there on top of that shelf. And every one of those pies, there is one of these quoits. Now, what you do, sir, is you maneuver around on that chair, which you notice is on little rollers, until you feel you are right under the front edge. You have to be sort of out this way because your wife is going to push these pies off from the back. All you got to do is catch one on the stake, and we'll stop the clock.
Can I look at the pie to see if I'm under it?
I beg your pardon, sir?
Can I look at the pie to see if I'm under it?
You can not only look at the pie, you can eat the pie. It's wonderful. Do you like whipped cream?
In small doses.
It may not taste as good as junket custard or something like that, but it's awful good whipped cream.
Good.
All right with you. All right, sir. Now, here's the pole with which you push the pie off right up there, and you maneuver around till you get under the pie, not directly under here, sir, but a little in front because it comes out that way. I'll take a look at the clock. Meanwhile, I'll tell you how many seconds you have. 45 seconds to make one ringer. Are you ready? Go. We'll get them all cleaned up and deliver it. Safe and oh, brother, that was a bullseye if I ever saw one. I don't mind telling you. Well, we got you. We'll have them all cleaned up. Don't worry about him. He'll be good as new when you see him again. And right now, of course, that moves you up to the $200 clock. And with your husband gone, you'll have to carry on for the $200 clock all by itself. Now, I assume you do a lot of dusting around the house, don't you? Do you ever use one of those old-fashioned feather dusters that grandmother used to? Yeah? They're still pretty handy. Well, we have a feather duster that we are going to have you operate in a little different way. So if you will come over here with me, I'll show you what way that is. This is on the $200 clock, remember? And here is a card table. Now, here is that feather duster I told you about. We have it hanging from a string, as you see. Now, you'll notice that along the floor there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 empty milk cartons, right in a row, you see? Now, we want you to get those milk cartons, one in the center, and one on each of these corners where we have the little X's marked, you see? You must start with the one nearest and work your way down one at a time. Go get one, put it on. Go get the next one, put it on, until you have 5 cartons all standing on the table. In the meantime, why is this duster here? Let me show you. Would you step back over here? You start this duster swinging in as wide a circle as you wish, and you may not touch it again until you have got all 5 of those cartons up on the table. If it knocks a carton off or touches you, we must stop, reset, and start all over again. Do you understand the problem? Okay, take a hold of the feather duster. I'm going to give you a little start by placing the first carton on the table for you. Take a look at the clock, see how many seconds you have.
I guess I'm on the corner.
You have 50 seconds, one on each corner, starting with the one nearest you and doing one at a time. Do you understand? Go. If you will. Here we go. Now look, let me give you a bit of advice. Don't just swing it far out like that, but try to give it, let me show you, try to give it a wide circle. See, as wide a circle as you You get the idea? All right, here we go. Go. Up. Put it back down on the floor again, girls. Come on. Try to make a circle. Try not to get it to go back and forth, but in a circle. Here. So to start, I'll start it for you. How about that? All right, you ready? Go. Hurry up. Move. Quick. Hurry up. Get one in there. Hurry up. Look at yourself this time. Huh? Here we go now. Here we go. Ready? Go. Hurry up. Move fast. Fast. Hurry up. To beat the $200 clock, sir. Now, you can't help in this one, but just hold good thoughts. And back of you now is our jackpot board. We step down that way just a little bit. Don't turn around till I tell you to. All the words of a famous saying or quotation, but they're all mixed up. Get them unmixed in 20 seconds from the time I say go. Now, don't look till I tell you to. Open the curtain. Turn around, take a look. Go. you didn't beat the clock. The clock beat you. What it is this. It's the evil that men do lives after them. The evil that men do lives after them. The good is often terred with their bones, so let it be with Caesar. All right. However, you've done a mighty good job, the two of you, each one taking care of one stunt. So you've beaten our $200 clock. Let's see what you've won.
A Speed Queen electric clothes dryer with a new conditioned air fast drying principle, full range of heats, and an automatic time control for whatever degree of dryness or dampness you desire. Congratulations, Mr. and Mrs. Havco. You have just won a Beat the Clock prize worth more than $200.
Congratulations to you, too. Roxanne, who do we have now?
Bud, now we have Dr. and Mrs. Gilbert Markham from Rosalind, New York.
Well, a warm welcome to Dr. and Mrs. Markham. How are you, Miss Markham? Doctor, how are you? My goodness, you two are tall people, aren't you? May I ask how tall you are, Miss Markham? Without shoes.
6 feet.
6 feet tall. And you, sir?
6'3".
6'3". Glad you found such a pretty nice tall wife, huh?
I am too.
How long have you been married?
Oh, about 6 years.
You have 2 children? Mm-hmm. A boy and a girl?
That's right.
How old are they?
Jerry is 5, that's our little girl, and our little boy is 2.
Well, we got you a camera and a Roxanne doll, which we'll pick up backstage right after the show. In the meantime, oh, there's that feather duster again. We have a little problem for you, sir. If you will come over here with me on the $100 clock, I'll show you what it is. Now, this is the same table that Ms. Havco was just worrying about over there. We're going to make a little change in it this time. Going to take the feather duster off and going to hook the table on. So the table is hanging up in the air this time. Now, let me show you what the problem is. It's simply this, sir. If you step over here, you can watch better what I'm going to do. Here's the supply of rubber balls, you see? Now, you may use this hand to hold the table. Only that hand can only hold the table, and the other hand is the one that works with the balls. Now, what you do is you take one rubber ball, you place it on the table. Then, keeping that carefully on that table, you get another rubber ball and steady the 2 on the table. Then, with the 2 on the table, you try to keep them on while you get a third one. And you try to trap all 3 on the table, and you keep on until you get 4 balls on that table held there by your hand. You can trap them under your arm. I don't care how you do it, but only that one hand and arm can do it. You understand the problem? Meantime, take plenty of time to keep watching that one that's on the table. I suggest that you not look away to get the ball each time, but watch the ones that are on here and just grope for the balls. You understand? Take a look over your shoulder at the clock. One at a time. Yes, sir. 55 seconds. You can hold the table any way or anywhere you want it. Are you ready? Go. Good boy! Stop the clock! All right. There's the doctor I'd like to have take care of me, I'll tell you. And with a steady hand and taking so many pulses, I guess you got that one going. That was real good, Doc. My goodness, that's the quickest it was done by any of us, I think. Took us all longer than that to do it. Maybe those balls weren't surround this time. I don't know. We'll have to try them backstage afterwards. Well, Dr. Markham, now here comes your wife, and look what we've done to her. See there? Good thing we had one big enough for such a lovely tall lady. Now, if you both come over here with me on the $200 clock, Mrs. Markham, will you stand in back of these boxes here? And, Doctor, if you'll come over here with me, you operate this time in back of this black line. You're free to move around back there, but you mustn't step across. It's the only thing. Meantime, you notice we have a whole row of cardboard boxes here. Now, what you do, Ms. Markham, is one at a time, you kick these boxes through the air, hoping your husband will catch them while they're still in the air. He must catch and hold 4 of these boxes. Now, you don't have to have them stacked. You can trap them between your legs, under your, any way you want to, but just have 4 boxes, and you kick them to him one at a time. You understand the problem? Take a look at the clock, see how many seconds you have. 40 seconds for him to catch 4 boxes. Are you ready? Go! There's one. All right, stack up a few more there for, will you, Betty? Here we are. Get this one in there. Oh, no, our time has run out. With 20 seconds yet to go, and look how we found the doctor. All right. Can you come back next week? Doctor, can you make it next week? Okay, good enough. You'll be our first contestants at that time. And right now, this is Bud Collyer speaking for Sylvania, hoping that next time may be your time to beat the clock.
This has been a Mark Bill Godwin production. Produced in association with CBS Television Network. Roxanne sound by Nat Kaplan. Beat the Clock is brought to you by Sylvania.